Hey everybody, Brian here from Fitzpatrick's Garage in Kildare. I want to show you this car here in this video. This car here is a 1.5 VTEC turbocharged Honda Civic, and that means it's got 182 horsepower. I really love these cars. It's one of my most favourite cars that I've ever sold when they were brand new in a showroom. And you know what? There's not going to be much more cars like this produced over the next few years as we move towards hybrid and electric. So this could be one of the last chances you get to buy an exciting car, but it's a car that you can still run. It's not a hot hatchback, I'd say. It's a warm hatchback because it's exciting, but it still gives you reasonable running rates in terms of fuel and road tax as well. Anyway, in this video, we're going to have a look around the features on this car, some of the really nice features that I think they're on it that make it stand out, and then we're going to have a drive in the car as well. So if you're somebody that's wondering, is this the right car for you? Well, here's the way I'd look at it. If you want a car that's quick, it's fun, it's easy to run, and it's something that's a bit different than all the other cars you see on the road, then stay tuned. I love how this car drives, and what I mean by that is even around town there's a lovely gear change. It's nice and quiet and smooth, and it's easy to drive around town. But I suppose the problem with me is when I get a car like this onto a back road or something like that, you keep getting tempted to put your foot down. You see the boost gauge building up and it really tempts you to drive it on, but within the speed limits of course. But the car will go from 0 up to 100 kilometers an hour in 7.9 seconds, and with that gear shift it's so enjoyable and satisfying to drive the car. And I suppose that can be the problem, it just keeps tempting you to do it. But you know what's cool? Even getting onto a motorway, you can drive all the way up through the gears, but once you get up to the speed that you want, you can actually then cruise really comfortably, and it's not noisy like a hot hatchback. Like we were saying, lovely gear stick, sits nicely on the back road, but it's actually still a smooth, quiet drive, but you still have the fun element whenever you want as well, and I love that in a car. I suppose it's the best of both. You're getting economy, you're getting comfort, but you're getting a bit of fun whenever you want to get it out of your system, and then after that, once you're finished doing that, you can just cruise along with a really nice car to drive. Don't take my word for it, this is actually a nice vehicle to drive, and everyone that comes to drive it really has the same opinion. And you know what's cool? It actually looks really well as well. In terms of styling on the outside, I gotta say I love those taillights. They're lovely at night time when you're driving behind the car. There's a lovely splitter on the rear of the car, which is really aggressive looking, and it also houses that dual exit exhaust, and it's actually a functioning exhaust, and it makes a small little hum, so you know you're in something special when you start the car. There's the nice little inserts on the bumper, and below that there's little splitters and gloss black on the bottom of the bumper. It's also got side skirts down the side, again in a nice gloss black, and actually that matches the wheel. I love the side markers on the front bumpers, they look really cool. And also then the front bumper has some nice splitters, again in gloss black down low as well, again just to make it more aggressive looking than a normal version. There's little light washers on the headlights as well, and all the lights are LED on the front of the vehicle as well. So if we look at the car closely, when you start the car first of all, you'll always have these nice daytime running lights, which are a nice LED, and then after that if you choose the parking lights, they're also a nice but dimmer LED as well. And then after that there's LED front fog lights, LED indicators in the front, there's LED dipped headlights, and there's also LED full headlights as well. So there's excellent light out of the car, and they're classy and upmarket looking as well. That's the thing about these cars, there's something different. Like, I mean, there's loads of really nice Audis and BMWs and stuff on the road, but I like this car because you won't meet one everywhere you go. They're unusual. You pull into a petrol station, someone sees the exhaust and the nice lines, and they look twice. It's the kind of car that'll grab someone's attention, but in a subtle way. It's something a bit different. But that's not to say, what's also good on these cars is, while it's fun and it's exciting, it's a really practical car because it's still based on a hatchback Honda Civic. Let's have a look around the inside features. One of the most useful things in these cars is the boot. It's absolutely massive, and even when you cover across the back tray that goes across, which is flexible, it's still absolutely massive. And you can also fold down the back seats, and you basically end up with a load area that's as big as a car style van. It's a really practical boot. And in terms of the back of the car, and actually we have a Honda Civic at home, so I know all about the boot, getting things like buggies in the back and stuff. Really good. In the back there is a tweeter over here. There's a nice bit of brushed aluminium along the door, and at 6 foot, this is the kind of headroom that I have. I'm sitting behind myself, this is the kind of legroom that I have, so it's actually quite good. The windows are also dark privacy as well, which is really useful for young kids, and it looks cool from the outside as well. The door houses electric windows. It also has another speaker down here. It's also got a chai lock over through here, and in through the back then 3 head restraints, 3 3-point safety belts. There's an armrest with drinks holders in through the centre, 2 eyes of fixed points either side, and it's a nice dark hard wearing material. And the same up front, there's nice brushed aluminium on the door again, and in through here then we can controls for electrics for windows and mirrors, and again there's a speaker and also a tweeter as well for good sound. The seats up front are similar hard running material. There's a lumbar support for the driver's lower back. There's height adjustable seat for the driver on their side, and even things like anti-whiplash head restraints, which means you can bring them forward to reduce whiplash if someone rear ends you. Also curtain airbags up high. There's also side impact protection airbags in the seats. There's front airbags for driver and passenger, and there's loads of safety stuff on the steering wheel. What I mean by that is over through here then there's a Honda sensing setup. If you want specific information on that, I can send it to you. But just to summarise, that means if you hit the cruise control, it'll follow the car in front. If they slow down, you slow down. It's got a lane change warning, which means if you drift out of your lane, it'll warn you. And it's also got a lane keep assist, which means if you drift or try to drift out of your lane, it'll actually try and keep you centred. And you have a choice whether you want to turn these things on or off. When you're looking down the steering wheel then, those controls are set up on the right hand side over here, and down through there you've even got things like an intelligent speed limiter. So that means I can set my speed to a certain speed, or I can have it respect the speed signs that it passes, which is really damn cool. The headlights are automatic, which means they come on at night time, but they also dip when they meet traffic. The wipers are automatic, which means they come on when it rains. And over through here then there's Bluetooth functions, and there's also this button here to change the IMID, which is average speed, fuel efficiency, maintenance information, audio information, radio information, and my favourite one in here, which is the boost gauge when you're driving the car quick. Through the centre then we have an armrest which is adjustable, and it also houses a USB connector. There is a drinks holder which actually turns into 2 drinks holders, an automatic park brake with hill assist, some other functions I'll talk about in a sec, and that gear shift is really nice. Underneath that tunnel then you have HDMI to play video, another USB connector, and a 12 volt outlet. And one thing I forgot to mention in terms of driving, it's got these lovely pedals as well, which are aluminium. What I was going to say was down through here then you have an econ function, and what that does is it reduces how aggressive the cruise control is and how aggressive the air conditioner is, and the throttle position where it actually bites completely. And all these things are just there to try and increase your fuel efficiency, and it also gives you warning on the dash in terms of a green colour when you're driving economically or white when you're not driving economically. But unfortunately in a car like this you're going to see white quite a bit, because it's definitely the kind of car that's going to encourage you just to drive it on. I know that's what happens to me when I jump into them. Other things then, in terms of the centre screen, there's quite a bit of functionality on it. So once you turn it on, you have a touch and swipe screen with various different ways you can set it up depending what your preferences are. But the other thing is you've got these buttons which are, I suppose, touchscreen setups. But what they've done on this model for this year, they've also added these hard buttons which are more of a kind of a shortcut, and I like that, and maybe I'm a bit old-fashioned. The other thing then is down through here you've also got your climate, which means again you can touch and swipe on the screen, but they're allowing idiots like me, which are a bit old school, to use these buttons here. I really actually prefer the hard buttons, I don't know why. And there's different temperatures on each side of the car as well. The other thing then is you've also got a reverse camera, so when you go for reverse you've got dynamic guidelines, and you've also got different settings on the camera depending again what your preferences are. And the car is going to have parking sensors on the front and the back to go with that camera. Anyway, there you have it. Here's the thing, and let's summarise. If you're somebody that's in the market looking for something a little bit different and you fancy about 180 horsepower, but you don't want something that's incredibly high on road tax, and you want something that's got reasonable fuel efficiency in the 40 to 45 miles per gallon range, then I am of the opinion that these cars are really good. They are just a really good all-rounder. One of my favourite cars that we've ever had here at the garage, and I would gladly buy one myself. So what I'm saying to you is, if you want any information on the car, 086 843 1945, call, text, WhatsApp, whatever suits. If you want information about the car, if you want information about trading in your own car, scrapping your old car, financing, whatever it is, give me a shout and I'd be happy to go through it. I really appreciate you taking time to watch as well. We are Fitzpatrick's Garage. Brian is my name. We're based in Kildare town, but we serve the country. We've customers from Donegal down as far as Kerry. Anyway, thanks a million for taking time to watch. And the other thing, actually, if you're watching on YouTube and you think the video is useful, please do like and subscribe, because it lets me know the video is useful. And if there's anything I missed, let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, thank you again for watching, and hopefully chat to you soon.